Okay, AEW World Tag Team Title ladder match. FTR versus the Young Bucks. Um, they had to follow what was probably the match of the year so far, and it was real tough from the beginning. And then they decided, hey, let's Young Bucks, let's just be violent Young Bucks that they say that we never are, and let's get blood on Dax real quick, and let's start just wrestling our asses off and just like doing what we do as two of the best tag teams of all time, and the crowd eventually woke up, which is a credit to the style of Japanese cards where like they put their best stuff at the end, and like if you got to follow an all timer, you can be your own palate cleanser by having a match to build towards something that goes crazy at the 15-minute mark or 20-minute mark. And that's pretty much what they did. They built themselves up to get people invested after having a bomb clear out all the air out the arena. And they did it. And the crowd was hyped. And then Dax was up on that ladder. And as soon as I saw Dax on that ladder, I was like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he coming from? And he showed up in a Sting mask. And Jack Perry with the Sting mask on pushes Dax down. Security was in on it and grabbed him, and then they took off the mask. And the one brother, the light skinned brother, is always on the show. When he pulled on that mask, excellent acting, because like he knows who it is, but he has to play it like he doesn't know. But he made that face. Clearly, he don't even see Jack's face. He just sees the hair and whatever. So he made that face like, this motherfucker. I'm gonna beat your ass. Get your ass out the ring. So, and behind him, you see Matt climb up and grab a belt. And crowd went crazy for Jack Perry. The only thing that would have made this better would have been if after they took off the face Sting mask, that was actually Sting. That's the only thing that would have caught this. Sting just came back and said, you know what? Fuck him. Fuck you, or fuck you, FTR. But yeah, man, this it was a great match, and Young Bucks ladder match, one of the safest bets in pro wrestling.
Yep.
Listen, I'm not a big FTR fan at all, but I do acknowledge the fact that when they are up against a great team, they tend to deliver. And I will say, I had very low expectations for this match even before I found out where it was slotted on the card, because I was at Wembley, and to me, that third match was kind of trash. Like it didn't move me like I wanted it to. And I think that was probably the match on the card that I was most excited for from a wrestling standpoint. So I was very upset when I felt like it didn't deliver for me. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, okay, we've seen this match 3 times. What are we going to do? Ladder matches kind of don't really move me as much as they used to. But, and like I said, and then they ended up following Ospreay Danielson, which was, I think, an impossible task for anybody but these two teams. But they were relentless in making sure that people stayed, got invested in staying into, like, they went to their absolute peak for this match. And I think I appreciated it just because I think we needed to see that. I think there needed to be a bold declaration for the tag division. Like, that we're in a new era. This is a new tag division. And I felt like that match, and finally, hopefully never revisiting that again. I hope that was the final chapter. But the match was great. Shout out to the Young Bucks. They deserved to be the first 3-time champions. And the tag division has never failed when it's in their hands. So nothing but respect for my EVPs.
Shout out to all the real jackers in the chat. Word to Keith.
You still with this shit? Oh, lyric, no.
Word to Keith.
Listen, I was in Chicago. I was in Chicago for Windy City Riot. Like, we jacking off.
Correct.
We jacking off, man. We're jacking off. We're jacking off.
We are doing it. I got to slap 5s with Jack Perry in the back, pulling the curtain back after this, and I was very happy to see him. I was very happy to welcome him back to the company as like this pariah or alleged pariah, who's in the mammoth god level reaction he got when I was in the building. It was just like, like I said, I don't like to do victory laps. However, I insisted this guy is special, and I always have. From the time he was doing the 10-minute draw with Jericho, and all the great tag team matches with Jurassic Express, into going into his singles career. This guy never misses on pay-per-view, and aligning him with the Bucks, I think is a great move. The only thing that would be better is if he ended up fighting them. I think that as far as the match goes, they were doing a lot of very physical, dangerous things, and I was like,
is
right?
Cash okay?
That's a great question.
That's
a great question.
I may talk about FTR, right? Like just like Lear said, I'm not. They're not my favorite tags here or anything, but that Cash Wheeler motherfucker.
The people that are watching this, all the people you see here, no, James, Lyric, Rich, the FTR is nobody's favorite tag team in this chat right now.
Yeah, but this Cash Wheeler motherfucker is a bad motherfucker when motivated. Listen,
that's Perk Wheeler.
Yes.
That's Perk Wheeler right there.
Wheeler.
Yes.
This motherfucker is not real.
He's not real. I don't know why he even thought he needed a gun.
When he gets teed up, listen, whatever they said he did, I believe it. That man is, when he teed up, he different.
It's funny, different. Like Dax always gets all the love as like the great worker, the singles guy among them. Nah, I'm rolling with Cash Wheeler, my guy.
Cash the high spot guy. Cash the high spot guy.
Yeah. Like every time that man gets around the Young Bucks, like that man is like his factory setting gets thrown off and he decides to start flipping. I don't know what it is about the Bucks, but it brings it out of them. But Bucks first 3-time champions, as Lyric mentioned. This entire thing was building up for them. This entire tournament, Sting and Darby, these belts were, for them essentially. And I think they're one of the hottest acts in the promotion. Once again, it took them a little while to get it rolling, but between the Revolution main event and this, I think we got to start talking about their 8th tag team of the year award in the Observer, because they're about to go and cement their Hall of Fame induction this year. They were 5% away last year, and this is I feel like we're gonna get a real long run with these guys. I'm talking like a year, build up whoever you're gonna build up for them, but they have so much juice right now. I think, and FTR can get back to it later. Nothing was going to change if FTR won these belts now. It was, we already kind of just did that whole thing. So it's time for it to switch around and move around back to the Bucks. And I think they're the greatest tag team of all time. Jack Perry being reintroduced. What can you say? I think this guy's a superstar, and he's got the juice right now.
As somebody who was in Chicago when on the night that he got, man, I think it was so crazy because nobody knew what to expect. And before a show, they'll start showing like the graphics for the matches. When the one for him versus Shota came up, some people started cheering, and then some people started booing. That's how I knew it was going to be a crazy night, because this is before the pre-show or anything. But when it hit and when he came out in that Chicago flag, to this day, I've been to some crazy places. I've been to Forbidden Door. I've been in the Tokyo Dome. I've been to Wembley. But that experience, that feeling as a wrestling fan, is probably going to go on my bucket list as one of the craziest, pure emotion. He did that. Whether you liked him, whether you hated him, everybody felt something passionately for Jack Perry. And I feel like that's the difference of just a lot of people were saying they should have never showed the footage. They should never show the footage. We got 5 seconds into that match, and I immediately said they made the right call, because whether you hate him or love him, now everybody has a stance on Jack Perry. Everybody feels some type of way. And also, the gag was people were really expecting him to just get slaughtered in Chicago. And so when he came out, it was already 80-20. And as the night went on, it kept shifting. It went to 70-30. Then it went to about 60-40. And to be quite honest, by the time the night ended, it was more about 40-60. Honestly, more people were on his side than against him. And even the guys who were sitting behind me, they were big CM Punk fans, and they were just like, I'm not gonna lie, this Jack dude is pretty cool. Like, he's pretty cool. And they're like, because he played up into everything, like coming out with the SWAT team. And I one thing I really hate about New Japan sometimes is that at their American shows, they don't put a lot of effort in production wise. They very much nothing. It's bare bones. But
bring your ass out, work your
but
match,
what
walk
I
your ass
do
back.
exactly. But what I do like about that is that it shows you who really has the juice and who really don't. Like, who doesn't, people who aren't hiding behind the lights, people who aren't hiding behind the pyro, who really has aura, like that real God-given aura. Jack Perry has it, and he kept it throughout the entire night, and it ended up rubbing off on Shota too, because it honestly, that match helped him a ton. And I would also like to say, if I'm ever beefing with somebody and they start chanting for my op to do my finisher, listen, I would have like, that is crazy. Do you know I would have been sick as a dog?
Yeah.
Because there's no way that I done went on this press run and told y'all, everybody, oh, he just a little peewee, he ain't nothing. Only for my city to chant for my op. Do that GTS, do that little dance he be doing. Like, and it was genuine and it was real. And even like the Dynasty response, I think some people thought it was going to be split. They greeted that man like an old friend.
It was like,
They
welcome
said,
home. All hail Jack's home, nigga. Like,
I don't. The reason why I dislike the whole situation of them playing the video is because unless nobody who in the right mind thought that he was going to come back and be booed out of where they were at, unless it was like Chicago. And like he shows up, of course people are going to cheer him, but like he's going to come out here with a huge reaction because he's back, and he immediately is with heels. That was my whole point. Like, what was the point of putting him even airing this? Because he's about to come push Dax off ladder, align with the Young Bucks, who are heels, with Okada, who is a heel in a heel faction. Like, is this meant to be? And I said my frustration about the whole thing last weekend, like our last show. But I guess now it's like, all right, well, the reaction is reaction, and we're just gonna run with it in one way or the other. Doesn't matter. He's gonna be in the faction with the heels, getting booed or cheered or whatever, just getting loud noise. We don't care.
I think that Tony overestimated how much AEW fans still care about CM Punk.
Because Tony Khan's the biggest mark for CM Punk.
He misses him, and that's okay. I guess. I can't say that I feel the same, but I think he genuinely thought that he was going to come out of that being like, "Oh my God, you ran CM Punk away." They treat this man like a hero. They started like in Chicago, in this man's city. They started, "Thank you, Jack" chants. They said, "Thank you."
I can't wait for Wednesday.
Scapegoat. They said, "Thank you, Scapegoat. Thank you.
You have freed us. Give us free. He freed us."
Like that reaction for Jack Perry, they said, there goes our savior. There goes our savior. So I don't know what the plan was, but I do have faith that alongside the Bucks, like the thing is, Jack Perry could get cheered or anything. Like alongside what the Bucks and Okada are doing right now, I think that they're gonna have no problem bringing themselves heat. Like everybody is really functioning at all cylinders, and I also think that this is a different Jack Perry than the person that we saw at All In versus Hook. And I realized that in Chicago, he's a lot more sure of himself. He knows how to work the audience a lot more. He knows how to make those tiny adjustments that great wrestlers know how to make in the midst of time. A lot like the Elite. It made me think of like when the Elite, their first show in Chicago after coming back from the suspension. No other team would have been able to handle that type of adversity. But by the end of the match, guess what? They had everybody cheering for him. And so Jack Perry has clearly picked up some of those things. And so I think he's going to be fine. And also next week, apparently we're going to get a Kenny Omega appearance. I'm so excited. And so up against Kenny in his hometown, they're all going to get booed if they try some funny shit. So it's gonna work out. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Well, we've been skating around it.